Hi guys, this video is for demoing the Veggie system on my 97 Mercedes 300D, and it's a one tank system with about 800 watts of heaters, electric heaters, and coolant heat exchanger. And it's just been finished, although I've been driving it on Veggie for a while now with the Veggie system working, but it took me a while to completely finish it, and I just did that today just to tidy up a few minor things. Otherwise it's been running on Veggie for about maybe 7 months, and no problem with this at all. So let me tell you a little bit about it. This is one of the heater blocks that heats up the filter and the filter housing. So by heating up the filter housing, the incoming vegetable oil gets effectively heated, and so this becomes a heated filter. And also, you know, the electric heaters only work as long as the filter reaches 140 degrees Fahrenheit, and after that it's turned off automatically, because there is a little thermostat there. See that little thermostat turns the heater off when the oil reaches 140 degrees. And then of course the heat exchanger, the coolant heat exchanger, takes over and keeps everything hot continuously. So it's kind of hard to see, or you can't see it at all on this one, because the pump heaters are underneath the intake manifold. So everything is underneath, and there is a 10-inch filter housing underneath. So I can't really show you that, but if you can maybe see a little bit what's going on in there. No, I don't think so. So anyway, that's where the injection pump is, and there is 3 glow plugs inserted into the injection pump, and that's what heats up the whole injection pump, and it takes about 3 minutes to get it up to 100 Fahrenheit. And there is a red light on the dashboard that tells you that the injection pump has reached 100 Fahrenheit, and then you can start driving. So after startup, there is like about a 3-minute heat up time, and then it's safe to drive. Okay, these heaters are very important to protect the injection pump from damage from the cold veggie oil. Okay, the damage is only possible when the veggie oil is cold. Otherwise there is no problem running veggie oil. So there is a little contraption here. With this I can adjust the fuel pressure. See, there is a little loop back thing here. Okay, with this valve I can loop some of the fuel going back to the injection pump, and that means that it will get warm oil to begin with, even before it goes into the heat exchanger. Some of the oil is already warm. Okay, so I can regulate how much oil I want looping back and how much I want to go back to the return line. This is the return line, and the gauges on the dashboard effectively tells you, you know, what you're doing with these 2 adjustments here. And there is a little glass filter there, just to see the quality of the oil coming through. Okay, so I have 5 relays here, these 3 relays here and 2 relays down here. Those 5 relays control the Veggie system. These are 40 amp relays, so each of those relays handle about 3 glow plugs, and one glow plug can take up about 13 amps each. So 6 glow plugs is 780 watts. Yeah, 780 watts of heating power to heat up everything before or after startup. That's just a little positive terminal there. If you ever need to jump the car, this is where you do it, because the battery is under the rear seat. Yeah, so that's on the outside or under the hood. And here we have 7 gauges. Okay, and I will explain what each gauge is telling you. So these 3 gauges, they measure fuel pressure, and this gauge measures the pressure before the primary filter, the big one, the 10-inch filter housing. This gauge measures the pressure before that, and this gauge measures the pressure after the filter housing. So when there is a difference between the 2 needles, that's when you can see that the filter is getting clogged up. When everything is clean, there is only like a 1 psi difference between the 2 gauges. There is always some pressure drop as the fuel is going through the filter, because the filter creates some resistance, right? So you will see that on the gauges. And the more the filter is getting clogged up, the more resistance the filter produces against the fuel flow. So these gauges will effectively tell you that by showing you the difference in the 2 pressures. Okay, and then the same thing is going on between these 2 gauges. This gauge is before the secondary filter, and this gauge is after the secondary filter. So again, you're just watching the difference between the 2 gauges. And then we have a temperature gauge for the filter, the secondary filter temperature, which has the primary heater, electric heater mounted on it. So this will tell you the temperature of the heater block, and when the heater block is turned off, then it will tell you the temperature of the filter itself. And on the second gauge, it tells you the temperature of the injection pump. Okay, and while the needle is under 100 degrees, like right here, you should not drive the car. You can start it, but you should not drive it. Okay, you also want to watch this, that it gets above at least 100 degrees, which takes about 3 minutes, so it's not a big deal. And then I have an amp gauge, which shows you the amp draw for the heaters. Yes, so it can go up to 75 amps and then slowly trickling down to 60. Yeah, so the whole system is drawing a lot of amperage. And then this gauge is a voltmeter that shows you the state of charge in the battery, because if it's showing you 14 volts, that means the battery is charged up. But if it's only showing you 13 or 12 volt, that means the battery is kind of low and you need to drive a little bit to charge it up. Now that happens automatically when you're driving, right? It recharges itself. So there is no need to worry about it. It's just good to see what's happening in the system. Okay, and then we have a dimmer function here on the gauges, and you can't see that right now because it's too bright. It's too bright, so I will show this at night. I will make another short video at night so you can see what it looks like. So you can turn off the whole system. Okay, so we have a red light, we have a glow plug light, and we have two green lights for the heaters. And you can either turn off the whole system by itself with this button, or you can turn off the heaters individually. But you really don't need to worry about that, because most of the time everything stays on and it's fully automatic. Okay, the thermostats control everything on the engine, so you really don't ever have to switch that off. Okay, so yeah, this car runs really good. I mean, I highly recommend this car for running Veggie oil, because it seems to be running even better than the 5-cylinder Mercedes engines. There is not so much smoke coming from the tailpipe. There is a little whim sometimes, but it's not even noticeable if you're not like sucking on the tailpipe, right? So yeah, this is a really good car for running Veggie. And like I said, I haven't had any problems for 8 months or so. Okay, well, I think that's all I have. Yeah, I forgot to mention in the other video that I have a really nice stereo in here. Well, let's make that another video. Thanks for watching.